can you talk a little bit about, especially, we've talked about this on the program a lot, with the state of California going back and forth about same-sex marriage being legal or not legal.
Yeah, my feeling on that, because I really identify as queer, and not just sexually, just out there. And my initial reaction is, why would anyone want to get married?
We've had this conversation.
Right. I'm actually still married right now.
Technically, you're still married to your wife?
Yeah, and she's in Mexico City. That's where she's from.
Uh-huh.
And that was this whole thing. My maternal grandparents were Mexican immigrants, so I'm really going to go back to my roots. And it was fascinating. I've been all over Mexico. I ended up it was an LA civil marriage. We got married in the United States, and the ceremony was down there. And so, yeah, she's still down there. Yeah, Mexico City, you can get away with it, but outside of it, it's a little more.
But, we're talking about marriage. Something that just blew me away once I had this realization. If I wanted to marry one of my trans friends, a trans woman,
right,
who is not, she hasn't changed her birth certificate, she's not had the operation, she could take her boy birth certificate and we could go get married. And to me, she's all woman. Like, that's what's so sad about having that piece of paper,
Yeah.
The whole Prop 8 crap, what if I showed up with, a trans woman? Like, look, legally, there's a boy name.
Which happened.
Yeah.
Which happened.
Like, that's not right, but that wouldn't knock them in the head. That wouldn't make people, the pro-Prop 8 people, have any kind of, logical epiphany,
Yeah, the one thing that comes to mind, you mentioned that, Mitt Romney is going to run for president. You know who he is, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like anybody but Mitt Romney. So even though I don't really support, gay marriage isn't my flag-waving cause, I think people should be, gay people, any people, liberal people, anybody really should be worried about someone like Mitt Romney getting elected president. He's the Mormon Church. I got to be clear. Mitt Romney is the Mormon Church, is the way I see it. I may be exaggerating, and if I'm getting too political here, you can rein me in. But I don't see that.
I'm the political one on the show, so yeah, I'm fine with this. Yeah, Mitt Romney will shut down Sarah Palin, and he could probably get very close to winning something. Primary, at least.
That's the danger. Sarah Palin,
Yeah.
I think, really
She's
is
a joke.
Thank you. No, we said at the same time. She's a joke.
But she scares me because then she shows how jokey the rest of America is.
That's true.
She kept saying WTF about Obama's State of the Union speech. Now that means what the fuck. We all know what WTF means. She kept saying that. And there's enough of middle America that's like, yeah, Sarah, go ahead. Joe Sixpack is eating that up. Joe Sixpack's going to go vote,
Yeah.
We have issues.
WTF.
I don't really know that much about her, but she just seems like kind of like.
I have more education than she does.
So yeah, she seems like someone taken off the street, got shined up a little bit. Yeah.
She doesn't read books.
I get that, and I don't know anything about her the image.
But you brought up Mitt Romney. Is there something in particular about gay marriage?
Just that he's the Mormon Church. Yeah, no, he's anti-gay. He's anti-gay marriage. He's like Mormons in general. They'll say whatever they have to say. They say that it's a religion, it's a Jesus Christ, just to get people to do whatever they want. They're opportunists. Mm-hmm. I've studied the Mormon religion. You were asking me cults, serial killers, religion. That's what I study.
We can keep going.
Oh yeah.
I know.
And if there's any trivia you need to know about the Manson family, I'm the guy. Yeah. I've even been to the Spawn Ranch out there. It's all chain linked off. You can't get anywhere near it. Because of guys like me walking down there, I want to check it out.
It's not a bad thing.
No, it's a fascination.
I read Helter Skelter when I was like 12.
I have Squeaky Frome's biography sitting at home. A friend pulled it. You have cool friends and they're just like, oh yeah, here, you need to read this. Like, you own Squeaky Frome's biography?
Oh yeah, I read that. It came out a few years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
I even know how to pronounce her name correctly.
Oh.
Do you?
No, what
is it?
It's
Frome.
Frome?
Yeah, it is.
Can you...
True fact. I told you, I got the trivia.
Is that why Charles Manson was like, you're not a Frome, you're just Squeaky? Charles got nipped that in the bud.
Wow.
Yeah.
He didn't want any Fromes in his crew.
That's right.
Squeaky! So,
Come back around.
come back around to the Mormons financed Prop 8. The Mormon religion, which practices polygamy even when they say they don't.
Right.
One
that's
man, a
one.
bunch of women.
Yeah.
But I say if the women sign up for it, let them.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
You know, I mean,
consensual.
that's consensual, and if it's consensual and they're of age, I'm perfectly happy with that kind of polyamory happening. That doesn't bother me. And I agree with you that on the one hand, well, why get married anyway? Because to me, I feel that that's sort of an outdated construct that
Right.
doesn't really work in our current society, or doesn't have to work in our current society. On the other hand, I think that anyone who feels that they want to get married or be a part of that particular process, that they should be allowed to, regardless of their orientation,
Definitely.
regardless of their gender.
Yeah.
If they want to be just as miserable as heterosexuals, it's perfectly fine. It's kind of my feeling.
And
It certainly keeps the wall going, because not only do you have people now constructing premarital agreements,
Right.
divorces
Divorces are like the goose that laid the golden egg for me.
Money. Yeah.
I'm telling you, yeah.
So why not add to that pool of people?
The wedding commerce would increase.
Wedding commerce would increase, divorce commerce will increase. But you also have, it would increase, I think, also wills and trusts, children's trusts and custody agreements and all of these other things.
Right.
Yeah,
So in that respect, I do support marriage. And when I hear people talking about getting married, I say, just keep my card for the exit. The exit visa. Your exit visa.
Because a wedding is intense. I mean, because I haven't had one, but I've been able to watch now. Like, that is such a giant milestone in your life.
Yeah.
Your whole family, your village, basically, your whole village, your community has to be involved in your wedding and the birth of your children. And I think people get high on that. I think, especially...
to be the center of attention.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what it was for me. It was social adaptation.
Yeah.
All my siblings and cousins were all getting married, and I just,
Kind of go along with that.
Yeah, I went down to Mexico drunk. I was like, who is it? Is it the Falstaff character in, I think it's Henry VI or Henry VIII. I need to get
Wait, we'll have
remedial
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
We'll have Shakespeare
But the character that gets off the boat and goes, I came to wive and thrive. And that was me in Mexico, and it worked really good. It was a different life. Being happily married with Veronica in the early days, it was really nice. It was great. I mean, we bought a home, and I was doing all that, and it was nice. But then it just got old after a while. Eckhart Tolle talks about that on YouTube. If you check, he talks about that. Yes, and so he gets this contract, and he really talks about that. So if you want to know more about marriage, I'd listen to Eckhart Tolle talk about it.
Really? Eckhart Tolle, is he kind of bummed out about marriage?
Well, it's just another ego trip. It's just another external thing that's going to make me feel better. I'm going to get married. I'm going to do this thing, and it's kind of like why, what Emily was talking about earlier. I mean, do you need that? I mean, if the relationship is working good, I mean, if two people have, we were talking about earlier, buying a home together is actually that's something I can relate to. Really, that's necessary. You need a home.
And it's an investment.
It's an investment, and two people can live together cheaper than two people separately renting. So
yeah.